everyone, and welcome to the 177th episode of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, recorded on March 27th. Podcast today is a man who has succumbed to the madness.
You mean succumbed?
Succumb?
Succumbed, not circummed.
The man who has been circumcised by the madness, Andrew Clark.
The man who sucked the madness. Yeah, no, that's me.
Yeah.
I think you may have met me before devolving into madness over the last couple of years, but that guy's kind of gone. It's just me now.
Listen to episode 23 of the podcast.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't recognize this man.
I'm nothing
no
but id
him.
now.
Oh. Not only the madness, you've given into the id, your base desires.
Yeah.
That's fun. You're a creature of just pure hedonism.
So there's ego, superego, and id.
Right.
Id is like your animal needs and desires. What is the difference between ego and superego again?
Ego is like you're chill, you're a human, and then id is like your animal stuff, and then superego is like your inner morality, like what you absolutely know you should do, but sometimes gets overridden by the id to balance out. The ego is kind of like the stand on the scale, and the superego and the id are like on either end of the scale, balancing each other.
Just imagine the ego is on an alien planet fighting Space Hitler, then his best friend dies, and then he fulfills a 1,000-year-old prophecy and turns into a superego. It's basically that. It's like elementary psychology, Andrew. Come on.
Yeah, come on, man. The ego is on Krypton, and Kal-El sends him in a space rocket to a mysterious planet that he doesn't know anything about, but it has a yellow sun. So when he crash lands, and then I guess when he hits puberty, I think that's part of the canon, is like Superman doesn't really get fucked up until puberty. Like he's just a normal kid for
I think
10 years.
I think as he gets older, his superpowers start to develop.
And then he becomes superego.
If you ascribe to the lore of Smallville.
Oh no!
Yeah, when
Man of Steel, same.
Yeah, I thought there was something in like Man of Steel where his dad talks about like him running at the speed of sound when he was like 9 playing catch or something.
That's probably like the beginnings of puberty. They definitely show it in Man of Steel that's when he's just like, oh shit, oh fuck, like this is real bad, like because they're setting up the fight with General Zod, like.
General
Zod at first. General Id. At first he's like, oh shit, I'm really fucked up by this sun. And Superman's like, ha, I've been here for years. And he punches him. But then eventually General Zod's like, ha, I've been here too for 2 weeks. So now I'm good. I have no problems anymore.
Wait, in that canon, so the sun fucks up Kryptonians for a little while?
There's like an adjustment period where they gotta get used to our sun before they become super or whatever.
I don't know if that's always the case. I know in the old Christopher Reeves movie, Zod and the other 2 Kryptonians just show up and they're like, oh man, this Earth sure is cool. And they do something like, oh fuck, I'm super strong now. That's weird. How did that happen? We should probably use this to take over the world.
I think they're more susceptible to the solar radiation of a yellow star is the whole thing. So then it fucks them up. But then when they get used to it, that powers their cells and makes them superheroes.
Oh, so it's like drinking the water in a country you're not living in.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm traveling over there and it's like, this is a little weird. This is doing something to my system. But after a while, it's like, oh, this is fun.
After a while, it's like, I'm great. Yeah, I can punch this person into the atmosphere.
Well, it makes your immune system stronger. Your gut can take more shit. It's just
I don't think that's
hardened.
how it works. I don't think you can go to Mexico, drink the tap water for a month until you get used to it, go back to the United States for 10 years and then go back to Mexico and just drink the water like it's totally chill. I think your microfauna is not permanently better, or microflora is not permanently better. Microfauna implies like large animals.
Yeah,
That's kind of terrifying. It's just like wildebeests in your digestive
wait,
tract.
no, it is microfauna, because fauna refers to animals, flora refers to plants. So microfauna,
bacteria is not an animal.
Yeah, it's
I'm pretty sure it's microflora. Yeah, microflora. Bacteria and other organisms live inside in the intestines. I think microfauna might actually be a thing, but it's like those little like water bears, that are
microscopic
like
animals and
survivors.
organisms that exhibit animal-like qualities.
I always picture the little goofy little microscopic bears that apparently you could shoot them into space and they'd survive for years or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty fucking epic. I think they're called water bears, right?
I believe that is the colloquial term.
Tardigrades. Yeah, those things are fucking lit. They look like the caterpillar from Bug's Life.
Oh.
Protozoans are microfauna. Those are basically bacteria, but older. Or newer.
Bacteria, but
I forget. I don't know.
I'm like you, but older.
Also on the podcast today, his podcast. What am I doing? Fucking up to writer. Take 2. Also on the podcast today, his bracket remains unbroken. Ryan Holtz.
No. Oh no. I had one Elite 8 team at the end of the day. And then I've got no Final 4 teams left. Kansas is my only Elite 8 team that made it. So no, I got hard busted. But I'm in it, man. No matter what.
I'm about to bust.
We get St. Peter's versus Duke, and the potential for Coach K's last game to be losing to a 15 seed, or we get North Carolina against Duke, which is Coach K's potential last game could be against their most hated rival that they already lost to in his last game at home. So just could get absolutely sunned by North Carolina. Or Duke just wins and goes to the national championship or some bullshit. But I like to think there's a good chance that one of those outcomes happen.
He's had it too good for too long.
North Carolina. Oh, God. North Carolina's crushing St. Peter's. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, hello, I'm Lucas DeRuyter. Go Peacocks!
Yeah, the clock is striking midnight on this Cinderella, it looks like.
Fuck,
North Carolina's up 30-13.
That's been my favorite turn of phrase in sports. The Cinderella story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it always strikes midnight is the sad
part. You know what? A lot of game left for St. Peter's, but oh boy, if that isn't quickly becoming insurmountable.
North Carolina is so much better than St. Peter's. I've said it before in college basketball, especially if the two teams are tied at halftime, the better team still has a pretty significant advantage because their talent discrepancy in the second half is really going to shine through. So in reality, you have to be up by 5 or 10 points for it to be a fair game at halftime.
If you're able to keep it close, it's just by the grace of God. Eventually, your luck will run out.
Or you'll get into foul trouble, more likely.
Yeah.
North Carolina's a confusing team this season. They've lost to a lot of really bad teams, but apparently they're just really good, like normal. So that's fun.
And we're going to talk about plenty of other fun stuff in News of the Week. Elden Ring has sold 12 million copies worldwide. Can I ask you guys something about this game as two people not playing it? Are you guys sick of hearing about it?
No. I hear nothing.
I mean,
okay.
I'm pretty sick of hearing about it. I follow you on Twitter. I follow you and a couple other people from high school that I know on Twitter. And all I see on social media is just Elden Ring content being liked and retweeted.
I'm sorry, Andrew. It's important for me that you know that I defeated Rykard, Lord of Blasphemy.
No,
yesterday.
I saw.
I heard that happening live. We were playing Grand Theft Auto, and we saw you were on Elden Ring, and Andrew was like, looks like Lucas has defeated the whatever
Rykard,
Lord of Blasphemy.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because that was 1 minute ago that he tweeted that, and he's on Elden Ring currently on PlayStation 5.
That was fucked up. That was a fucked up fight. That man had a snake for a back of his head. You don't like that.
Understand how that works.
Just the back of it?
Yeah. So, like, you get into this pit underneath a manor in a volcano. It's like a weird, giant, fucked up snake down there. Beat the weird, giant, fucked up snake. Then there's a cutscene. And there's just, like, a dude's face on, like, the, like, beginning of that snake's neck. And then he turns around and starts talking to me. And then the snake head was just weird and flopping behind him like a hat.
So he was a sperm cell. Just a big round head with a tail.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I'm getting nothing. I'm not on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook anymore, and none of it on TikTok, none of it on YouTube.
The last, 3 or 4 highlight reel videos have just been entirely Elden Ring. And then Donkey's made multiple videos about Elden Ring, about how it's really, really good and also really bad.
Donkey has that relationship with all the FromSoft games,
Mm-hmm.
where he really enjoys it, but then he'll get killed, and for comedy he goes, piece of shit game.
No, he made his his normal dunk view game, official. and then he did his actual review of the game. Those are 2 separate videos.
Elden Ring has also been updated. Patch 1.03 adds important information like where NPCs are located on a map, and maybe fixes some quest lines.
There were some broken quests.
Maybe we're not sure.
Yeah. When Cyberpunk did this, it got destroyed. But Elden Ring does it. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Oh god, I never want to think about Cyberpunk 2077 for as long as I live.
Too bad. I'm probably gonna play it at some point this year. Because they the PS5 version came out and they released a bunch of hotfixes, and I want to check out.
There's so many better games you could play. Okay.
Sure.
All right.
There are a lot of worse games I could play.
One of those better games you could play is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. Part 8 antagonist Toru is in it. I have no idea how they're going to make his power work.
What's his power?
If you try to pursue him or get in the way of his plans, bad luck happens to you. And
it's like a reverse, Domino?
Yes.
From Deadpool?
Yeah. Which makes other people have bad luck.
Yes. And you would think it's like, oh no, my car's out of gas. But in fact, it's like, oh hey, a panel fell off an airplane, and that's gonna fuck me up if that hits me. I don't know how that translates into a fighting game. I look forward to seeing how they do it, but yeah. Will be interesting. Then, rounding out video game news, Activision Blizzard, a company that is currently in the process of settling sexual misconduct and gender discrimination lawsuits brought about by an investigation by the state of California, is facing a lawsuit from a current employee who alleged she was sexually harassed by male co-workers.
I thought it was going to be...
They made NFTs.
Starting an NFT.
Nope. The same bullshit.
No, not nearly that bad.
Yeah. Oh, nothing like that. Just continuous lawsuits.
Yeah. I don't have anything else to say about this. I've made my piece already. Now it's just me being socially responsible and elevating that very powerful company that's making a lot of money is doing bad things. Maybe don't support them, but also probably won't make a difference if you do or don't.
No ethical consumption under capitalism.
No.
You are small and insignificant. Your impact is negligible.
Tagline for this podcast.
Oh. I'm adding that to the title.
No ethical consumption under...
Voluntary Viewing. You are small and insignificant.
Yep. TV. To celebrate Toonami's 25th anniversary, Warner Bros. Is producing another 2 seasons of Fooly Cooly. This is a bad idea.
Why, Lucas?
because the original season was a heartfelt exploration of someone's experience with their own adolescence. The following 2 seasons that they made, I want to say in like 2019. I don't even know. They felt like maybe they'd never talked to a 14-year-old girl in their life. That's what
I find that hard
those
to
2
believe.
seasons of anime felt like. Yeah?
Is that a really dark joke or just like a...
It is.
Oh, God. Couldn't tell if you were being sarcastic or really dark. Those were the 2 options.
It's like Fooly Cooly, genuinely a terrific 6 episodes of an anime. Very weird fandom, though. Very weird public perception. My only experience interacting with somebody about this IP outside of this podcast was back in college when I was working at a chocolate shop. A woman came in, bought a couple of things, and when I was checking out her purchase, I noticed she had a Fooly Cooly pin on her purse, and I was like, oh, hey, cool, I just watched that. And she was like, oh, I haven't. Somebody just gave me the pin, and I put it on my purse, and I'm like, okay. That'll be $20.
Yeah, can you please tip me? Because I can expose you right now. I have your credit.
Yeah.
I know your name. Like, I can blast this out on social media that you just put shit on your personal items that you have literally never participated in before. Like,
Fake fan.
You are literally... I don't even understand the motivations you have to live.
I'm guessing it's like someone who wears a band t-shirt that they don't listen to their music, they just think the shirt looks cool.
Yeah, frauds. Bad people. I don't understand.
Bad people. Okay, look.
If you wear
I don't respect them for doing that.
Yeah,
okay.
bad people.
I don't think they're bad. I think we should save those words for people that are actually bad. You know, people that buy NFTs.
Yeah, I was going to say, people that produce NFTs. These are on the same level to me. People that are, like, shilling NFTs and people that are, like, yeah, like, misrepresenting fandom for some random shit, like participating in a culture that they have no idea what it even entails, like, without even a flippant care in the world. Like, she,
I guess,
at least be embarrassed. She's so unashamed of her act. At least be like, oh yeah, it's cool, and like move on and like pretend that you did participate so that you're not exposed. But
I guess, like, yeah, I kind of understand where you're coming from, Ryan, and like, yeah, if I were to meet somebody on the street and like they were wearing a Red Hot Chili Peppers t-shirt but couldn't name their top 3 Peppers songs, it's like, what are we doing here? What's going on?
And that's a good example of why you wouldn't do that bullshit, because imagine if Fooly Cooly was like super fucked up and aged really poorly. She has no way of knowing that. She could be wearing a show that eventually like has come to basically like support pedophilia or something like that. Like, she has no idea.
Oh boy, I don't think anybody's written this think piece yet, but there is very possibly, you could read Fooly Cooly and accuse it of being like, this is about grooming, and I don't think I would sign off on that, but boy, I wouldn't fight anybody coming to that conclusion.
It's the Cuties or Licorice Pizza of anime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're not wrong. I'm not sure if that's something I'd die on my sword for, but like, yeah, I see the argument.
But you understand it's saying this is bad, right? Oh, okay, not Licorice Pizza, but...
Yeah, Licorice Pizza, they just make out at the end and, and move on, continue their relationship.
Women can be scumbags, too. This is empowering.
No, it's not bad, because they are women.
Huh. Yeah. Cuties, we're saying it's bad, while also having, like...
They're taking the power back, Ryan.
Really creepy male gaze shots of these 11-year-olds dancing in skimpy clothing. Like, yeah, I don't know if they're saying it's fully bad.
Deshaun Watson was traded to the Cleveland Browns inside a 5-year, $230 million contract. This happened in spite of 22 massage therapists. Yep. No, he's only getting like, what is it, like $5 million this year or something?
No, it's so much worse than that. He is on the books for $1 million this year in salary because all the rest is signing bonus, and he's already received that money.
Oh,
that money cannot be taken away.
Yeah, when you get suspended, your wages that you lose for missing games because of the suspension come out of your salary. So they made his salary as small as possible so that he would lose the minimum amount of money that he could. They did that for him as a way to get him to come to the Browns.
Yeah, as part of their pitch. Like, we'll get you more money because we know you're inevitably going to be suspended for some amount of games.
I know this is complete backwards thinking, but this is somehow more disrespectful to the city of Cleveland than LeBron leaving. Like, this just baffles me. This baffles me that this organization would do this, that I don't fucking know. Why are we here?
I mean, there was a bidding war. Like,
yeah,
Cleveland is the one that won, but Atlanta absolutely sold out. And Atlanta's not like a classically bad city that no one wants to go to like Cleveland is. Like,
yeah, New Orleans and Carolina both would have done the same thing. Like, they were all in the running.
And, like, okay, regardless of the broader situation, I don't know football salaries well enough. Are they getting Watson for a steal even? Or is this...
No. The largest guaranteed contract in NFL history.
Okay, so they're paying more.
And they gave up, I think, the largest trade compensation since Herschel Walker was traded.
Yeah, which was an aggressive trade that everyone has since mocked for being so aggressive.
Yeah. So it's not even that they're paying less for him because of the drama and using that to their advantage in some sick, perverted way. They're like, no, we're signing off on this. We're paying a premium to have this energy in our locker room, to have this I feel like I can say likely terrible human being in our organization.
It's just a thing he did. Like, you only have to read the victims' testimonies and like understand that like every NFL player has either a team provided massage or physical therapist or one person that they really trust because they went to them once and were like, holy shit, this person's changing my life. And that's their person. Deshaun Watson, in order to have 22 women
means he cycled
accuse him of sexual assault. Well, it means how many DMs did Deshaun Watson send? Like hundreds of women that he like approached about this sort of thing. Like there's no way that he was being totally chill about this. Like, it's so obviously a modus operandi. Like, I am totally comfortable with saying that he is 100% guilty. Like, is it possible that a claim or two was slightly embellished? Sure, I'm not going to rule it out, but like, it literally takes one time for you to basically commit sexual assault to be a bad person. Like, everyone else doesn't do it. Like, it's insane. And look, it's again bad, but kind of like what you're saying, where it's like they paid a premium, so that kind of makes it worse, even though in theory it shouldn't. But like, the Browns and the Falcons both have functional quarterbacks. Like, Baker Mayfield was a borderline Pro Bowler. Matt Ryan has been an MVP. The Saints and the Panthers, like, I guess they're completely desperate. They have no one. But the team that won, had like the best quarterback of the teams that were in the running, like, and paid unbelievable amounts to get him. And now they might have to just cut their quarterback who, like, if they would have just traded him, like, a few months ago, they would have gotten a king's ransom. Like, it's fucked up.
Very fun article on Defector. Baker Mayfield firmly in the middle of the pack of NFL quarterbacks.
I think he's above average.
Baker Mayfield had a bad season fighting horrific injuries and playing through them the whole season. And this is after Baker Mayfield took the Browns to their first playoff spot and their first playoff win in like 20-something years. Baker Mayfield should be a king to the people of Cleveland.
Right. And I think, to be fair, most Browns fans do still consider him a king.
Yeah, that's fair.
Most Browns fans still appreciate Baker Mayfield, even the ones that are like excited for Deshaun Watson, and there are plenty that are not excited about Deshaun Watson. There are plenty that are like, what the fuck? I don't know if I can be a fan of this team. Like, they're experiencing what we experienced with the Packers times 10, 20.
Like, Aaron Rodgers, probably not a good guy. He's doing bad things. Deshaun Watson, serial predator.
Yeah.
Those things are different.
No, exactly. Aaron Rodgers' crimes are all like hypothetical. It's like, what if someone listened to his claims and then endangered their loved ones, and like it resulted in unnecessary suffering and death. Deshaun Watson just caused unnecessary suffering, like 1-to-1 directly. Like, it's definitely a different level, but no, it's pretty bad. It really does show you that. I think the joke was like, if Hannibal Lecter could run a 4.3, people would say that he has like a diet issue or something, like a dietary issue. They would find a way, basically, as long as he is not in prison. Like, the only person that I can really remember that got truly blacklisted, apart from Colin Kaepernick, was Ray Rice. And again, that was because of like, he went after ownership. Like, he leaked texts with an owner. Like, and that was really what did him in. And also, he was kind of waning in his productivity. Like, but outside of Ray Rice and Colin Kaepernick, like, everyone who's not actively in prison pretty much gets a return. Like, you get to come back.
God, yeah, I remember, this is an organization, this is a sport where for their, like, 50 years of the Super Bowl celebration, remembering the greats, they included O.J. Simpson. They just had him in there.
I mean, O.J. is definitely a unique case, because that all happened after his playing career. Okay. Like, it is a little bit different. It's not that the NFL fucked up his experience while he was a player. It was just, he became a bad person in theory afterwards. Like,
hey, OJ was never convicted of that one thing. He was convicted of other stuff.
Yeah, he was convicted of other stuff.
Yeah.
What was the other stuff?
Kind of one.
He got convicted of
held a guy hostage and robbed him at gunpoint.
Stole a bunch of his memorabilia.
One of the best.
Tried to steal back a bunch of stuff. Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Like, he is. If Tom Brady goes on to like do some fucked up shit, it is going to be unavoidable that he is the best player or the greatest player who's ever played the sport. Like, it is tough to whitewash someone out of the history.
All right.
But,
fair.
Yeah.
No.
Andrew got real mad about that one.
I'm big OJ stan. I never realized. That's
no. Andrew is big on the, like, he was, you're innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, where are those people? I just realized that. The same people that are just like with all the people that were getting canceled back when like Me Too was at its peak, or everyone's innocent until proven guilty. Guarantee those people were like, OJ fucking did that shit. Like, because once again, you can have your own personal beliefs and choose not to support someone because of what you think they did. That's fine. Like, that's not illegal. You're allowed to have those opinions if you want.
The people who are big into preaching innocent until proven guilty also have some other biases that make them okay with somebody from OJ's background being in prison.
Yeah, no, that's I 100% agree. And also, I'm a huge supporter of innocent until proven guilty when it comes to sending people to prison and executing them. Like, that's when it matters. That's when it counts. They can be shunned and removed from their like positions of privilege if we want to. Like, that requires a lower bar. Like, you don't need that.
And also, cancel culture here's the thing: cancel culture is not real in the way that like conservative people describe it as, but it's also clearly not real because cancel culture has not had any consequences of people of any import. Deshaun Watson was quote-unquote canceled by the woke mob, according to so many people. And then also is now signing the largest guaranteed contract in any sport. Like, it's fucked.
Yeah, no, it's Cancel culture is only real when you go to prison.
Cancel culture is only real when you are a war criminal and call on J.K. Rowling to back you up.
It only has consequences when you go to prison, and that's just the justice system.
Yeah, no, that's not. No, that's cancel culture.
The justice system. Oh, that's what cancel culture is.
When the International Court of Justice gets involved, you're being canceled.
I mean, look, like, I got a lot of problems with our justice system too. Like, you want to hop on board with me, like justice reform? Like, I'm fucking down. Like, let's do this shit. I don't think that's what you're after. I don't think that's what you're getting at with the cancel culture thing. But
yeah.
I thought we would be recording an episode last weekend. Totally fine that we didn't, but getting it in now. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone! Year 3 of the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Let's get it going, baby. LA had a 130% increase in BA2 Omicron variant cases, which I love how we have variants of variants now.
Yeah, they're the subvariants.
Yeah, it feels like we're getting real weird with it. Like, what's the difference between a subvariant and just a variant? Like, you felt like Omicron really it's really popping right now.
It's got brand recognition
going. Yeah, exactly. If we start fucking Sigma variant, people aren't gonna recognize.
It's like the Call of Duty franchise. So Omicron is like Black Ops, and BA2 is like Black Ops 2, and there will be further Black Ops variants, but they're all still Call of Duty. It's all still COVID.
Yeah, and eventually we'll get like a different. We'll get Infinity War, but for now, we'll go back to
like if there was a 2011 Jeep Wrangler on the market with some like sick Omicron decals, I would.
Oh. Thought we just took a hard right turn. I was like, where is this going? 2011 Jeep Wrangler. What? Where? Lucas, you in the market for a car? I got a slightly used 1999 Honda Accord.
Yeah, I might need to buy that off you. I don't know.
Let me ask you just one thing, super important to me. How's the catalytic converter on that bad boy?
Oh, catalytic converter is great.
Oh.
Yeah, the heat shield. I mean, it's intact somewhere. It's not might not be attached to the car, but it's not. It's totally fine. Someone found a piece of metal somewhere and was like, "The fuck is this piece of metal?" And they was like, "Oh, that's a catalytic converter heat shield for a '99 Honda Accord." All right.
Where do you think you lost it? Do you think it's in the mountains of Arizona?
No, I know exactly where it is. I don't want to say.
Oh, no.
Damn.
I 100% know exactly where it is. And in case my insurance company is listening on this, gonna refrain from. I'm gonna plead the fifth. But no, I know exactly. Yeah. So yeah, no, it works, man. I mean, if you need it, Andrew, mechanics in Wisconsin would genuinely be able to like repair that issue way better than out here.
I am not going to drive a 1999 Honda Accord from California to Wisconsin.
You can ship it.
It's made the trip 2 times already.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how much it's got left in it.
Huh.
If you're willing to, you could probably ship it for like $750 or something. Oh, it's not insane. Like it just come down to like, do you want to pay $750 or drive it or get a different car?
Okay, Andrew, here's what you got to do. Come out here with a couple of cars, take that car apart, put all the pieces into the cars you bring over here, drive it back there, and just reassemble it.
It's
then you still have to drive.
It's the car of Theseus.
Yeah. But not you won't have to drive the 1999 Honda Accord.
I have.
You take a different car.
No, what you got to do, Andrew, is you got to go to what's it called? The Wisconsin National Guard base in Madison. Rent a C-130 Hercules and drive the car into the cargo bay and then fly back to Madison. It'll be great. That's really how you want to do it.
How many miles do you have in your car, by the way?
Very little. It's like 101,000.
Oh.
For a car that's 23 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very low on mileage. Are you looking up the Kelly?
Yeah, I am.
What's the condition of the car, would you say?
I think we can call it fair.
it's
Would
the
you say
99
you have the
LX too.
DX sedan, the LX sedan, or the EX?
LX.
No, wait, it might be the EX. No, wait, what's the EX?
Okay.
Now I'm trying to remember.
It's the highest priced one.
Oh, then probably not.
LX is in the
Oh.
middle. We'll just do that one.
Does the LX have leather seats? Because if not, then I have the DX.
I don't know. Select your.
Or if so, I have the DX.
It's an automatic, I'm guessing.
It is.
You got a 2.3 liter. Do you have power steering?
No.
You do not have power steering.
I definitely have power steering.
Okay.
When was the last time a new car was
Man,
made without
I
power
don't
steering?
know.
Like the 70s?
Interior. You got a cassette player.
Yeah, I do. That's slap on an extra $50 for that
Do you
cassette
have
player.
power seats?
No.
No? Okay.
Well, kind of. No, I don't. Never
Okay.
mind.
Are power seats different than heated
Yes,
seats?
power seats are where
Power seats
you
for
press a button
adjusting
and your
it.
seat goes forward or back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that was a gimmick for a while. Okay.
Okay, so there's fair, good, very good, and excellent condition. I'm going to say it's good condition.
No, it's fair.
Fair is the worst.
Oh.
It's fair.
Okay, you won. Requires some
Thing has-
mechanical repairs.
Yes.
Yeah, it's lacking the. It's lacking the thing that keeps you from lighting grass on fire.
Hey, I parked at the Griffith Observatory and everything was fine.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so the trade-in range, if you traded your car in, is between $725 and $1,296, with the average value being $1,011. But if you go to a private party and sell the car yourself, it's between $1,400 and $2,900, with the average value being $2,100. Holy
That is an
shit!
insane range.
Your car is worth more than mine, which is 10 years newer.
Mileage, baby. I'm telling.
I only have like 20,000 more miles than you do.
I really want you to get a Japanese car, man. They are just on another level.
It's
I
a
feel like you just
Mazda.
need
It is a
reliability.
Japanese car.
Is it?
Mm.
Are you sure it wasn't just like manufactured there?
Um,
Oh, Mazda's Japanese. That's
Yeah.
fair. All right.
Yeah.
You really need to get a Honda or a Toyota. A good Japanese car. It looks like power steering was first debuted in 1951 on the Chrysler Imperial.
wow.
damn, I thought it was a
As-
lot newer than that.
As Hydra Guide. Yeah, it's been 70 years since this technology has entered the market. Can we don't need that question anymore. Like
No.
it doesn't say the Alfa Romeo 4C. That might be a newish car that does not have power steering for whatever reason.
Yeah, why?
Yeah, 2020. They make a new car that just doesn't have power
It's
steering.
like a high performance
sports
car. Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
In a small sports car, the lack of interference allows the driver to feel every bump in the road and translate the steering inputs perfectly into vehicle movement. It is an LX. Huh. I thought it was a
Ah.
DX. Okay, fair. I'll take it.
Oh, Ryan, by the way, I think this conversation made it onto the pod. My car does not just have four-wheel drive, it has all-wheel drive. I couldn't take the four-wheel drive off if I wanted to.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think we talked about that. Is
Okay.
that, like, yeah, you can't turn it on and off in that car, but yeah, we just didn't know if
Right.
it had it.
Yes.
Although, isn't all-wheel drive
Okay.
worse than four-wheel drive in some way?
Well, it's always on, so it's arguably worse for fuel efficiency, but
yeah, it's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
just four-wheel drive can be turned
There
off.
you go.
And all-wheel drive
all-wheel
is
drive is-
permanent.
Is typically always on while you have the ability to toggle between having four-wheel drive on and off. All-wheel drive is more common.
right.
Fair.
Yeah.
Well,
Should we talk about the Oscars at all? Do we care about that this year?
I've seen maybe three of the nominees.
Oscar Best
Nah, two
Picture
more than I have.
nominees.
Three more than
I think I've seen three of them, but I can't remember what all the noms are.
Let's see, Best Picture. I mean, the Best Picture is what we're talking about, right? Basically.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I've seen Dune.
Yeah, I've seen Dune. I've seen Dune, Licorice Pizza, and then
I've seen The Power of the Dog. Oh, really? I thought Come On, Come On got nominated. Guess not.
Oh, and Don't Look Up.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, I got one movie.
And you hated it.
Yep. The Oscars are not for me, apparently.
I've been trying to find Drive My Car available to watch somewhere for months, and it's just not available anywhere.
I even see like animated shows. I want to see if there's any animated stuff I saw.
Best animated picture nominees.
Encanto, Flea, Luca, Mitchell's vs. the Machines, Raya and the Last Dragon. I did not see a single animated one. Yikes.
I feel like Encanto has that as a lock, right? That is a full-on cultural
I think
moment.
Flea is
that movie.
Getting a lot of buzz.
No.
I think it's just because it kind of crosses the line between documentary and animated film. So it's got the experimental factor in there. But it is a foreign language film, so that goes against it.
Yeah. You can sometimes get a decent idea with the odds. Yeah, Encanto is definitely the heavy favorite. Yeah, I don't think any of the others are really going to potentially get it. I never saw West Side Story, didn't see King Richard. Yeah, no, I don't really... Weird year for movies, you know?
I really feel like this year the impacts of COVID-19 interrupting a lot of production really manifested.
It's kind of the opposite for TV. Like TV has just exploded, especially in the last few months with new stuff because they finally got past the break in the supply chain.
Mm-hmm. Although, to be fair, there was a stretch just about this time last year where it was like, oh my god, WandaVision, TV's back. Thank God.
Yeah.
WandaVision was made pre-COVID, right?
I thought that came out a year into it.
Right, but I think it was all the production happened pre-COVID, I want to say. I'm not positive. It might have been interrupted.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Production.
The series was announced in April of 2019, so like a full year before the pandemic. Casting.
Filming began in November 2019.
Yeah.
So
at the very least, they had gotten a good chunk of it done.
Production halted in March 14th due to COVID-19. No. Oh wait, no. Shooting was done in early 2020.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they looked like they were doing some pickups of backlot filming and everything like that.
Oh wait, it said they had a wrap party 4 weeks before it was scheduled to actually be done filming. They had the wrap party, and then before they could actually finish filming, COVID hit and it paused production for a couple of weeks.
My roommate recently had his wrap party, and yet he still has 2 weeks of work left, and I'm like, that doesn't seem like wrap parties should work that way, but maybe I just don't know the biz well enough.
Yeah. I imagine there's just going to end up being another wrap party, official or unofficial, when they're actually done working.
Mm-hmm. But... No, the people who make the most are done working, so we can party now. All right, we have 10 minutes left on this call. Do we have any memes to talk about?
I don't think I've seen any good memes recently.
No. It's been weird.
They're dead. You heard it here first.
No more memes. Okay, then. I think... let's go into the breakouts and see how much we can talk about there before we have to jump into the other call. And I'll make it work in post. It'll be fine. Andrew, what have you been checking out?
First, I think I'll take a couple minutes to talk about Pam and Tommy, because I've kind of been watching Pam and Tommy off and on. Jade's been watching it on Hulu.
I have no idea
Pam
what
and Tommy is the dramatization. How do you say that word? Dramatization of the course of events that led to the Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson sex tape coming into the public eye in the late 90s.
That's right. Okay.
So Sebastian Stan plays Tommy Lee, and who plays Pamela Anderson? I forget.
That seems generous to Tommy.
Lily James plays Pamela Anderson, and Seth Rogen is arguably the main character of the series as the guy who robbed them and accidentally ended up with the sex tape. He's a contractor who was working on their house, and Tommy Lee is a psychopath and fired him and refused to pay him and stole his tools and threatened to kill him. So he pulled a heist and broke into their house and stole their safe that had a bunch of money and jewels and guns and also a sex tape in it. Cracked the safe, found the tape, and a lot of this stuff is real. I looked it up, and the guy who was the contractor when he was younger was an off again, on again porn star, and was married to a porn star, and all his friends were porn stars, and then he just left and became a contractor.
Oh yeah.
LA, man.
Yeah. And so he just
style's different out
called
here.
up his porn industry friends, and they concocted a scheme to distribute the sex tape through the mob. And things obviously didn't go very well because it's the mob. And then Tommy Lee just got more famous, and Pamela Anderson lost most of her work because the sex tape was out in public. And and the show's fine. I don't like watching it because it's just bad things happening to people over and over again, and I hate that shit. There's also a scene where it's just a close-up of Sebastian Stan's dick with the dick hole pointed at the camera, and it's twitching around, and his dick is talking to him.
Who provides the voice of Sebastian Stan?
Man,
as
I don't know.
Tommy Lee's dick.
I don't know.
No. Is it is it a regular voice? Is it doing
Pam and Tommy, voice of penis.
Does it have an
Jason
accent? Is it doing an
Mantzoukas.
affect?
Wait, it's Jason Mantzoukas?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is this a comedy?
It is a I guess you call it a dark comedy. There are moments that are objectively funny. The penis moment isn't one. It's just really stupid and gratuitous. There are moments that are funny, but it's also very dramatic.
I don't like any role that Jason Mantzoukas has ever had. I don't like him in that. But I've been listening to Comedy Bang Bang, and he is a delight on Comedy Bang Bang, where he plays kind of himself, a little bit more just toned down. He's not crazy and zany. He's just funny and nice. I really enjoy him on the podcast. Because I remember the very first time, it was just I started to listen to the podcast by listening to all the top 10 episodes, top 10 of the year. And I remember when Scott Aukerman was just in this episode, one of the classics, we've got Jason Mantzoukas. And I was just oh no, I'm going to hate this. And then it was just oh, this guy's really pleasant. I really, he's a nice, I don't know, he's a nice presence. He's kind of toned down, not in his usual, but I hated him, and I hated Big Mouth. Couldn't stand him in The League. Couldn't stand him in The Good Place, which is one of my favorite shows. Just not great. But no, a delight there. Probably wouldn't like him as a talking penis either, I imagine.
No. Okay, that's where's that one going in your 2022 top 10?
I haven't watched that many shows this year. It's not going to be high. Again, it's a fine show. It's made well. There's a lot of good performances in it. I just don't enjoy it.
is there any kind of moral to it? Like, is there
consent is important?
Okay.
And women are treated badly. And karma isn't real.
Yeah.
Wait, doesn't Seth Rogen get his comeuppance?
I mean, that's the whole thing, is that Seth Rogen is he's like a conspiracy theorist. He's obsessed with the concept of religion. Like, he studies, like, different religions and stuff. And so he's convinced that he's doing the right thing because Tommy Lee deserves to be taken down a peg. And he's, like, he, like, keeps talking about, like, karma and, like, the cycle of good and bad and stuff like that. And about he's an instrument of karma and that kind of thing. And it makes everything is better for Tommy Lee after all of this.
Yeah, well, Tommy Lee might not get caught with karma, but it sounds like Seth Rogen's character gets caught with karma,
absolutely.
Ironically enough, and I don't know, Pamela Anderson does for having premarital sex. I don't know.
They were married.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, they were.
Oh!
Damn. I don't know. That's probably a sin, right? To film yourself having sex.
I don't know. I mean, she's a woman. She enjoyed the sex, ostensibly. So that's a sin.
Allowed to do that.
Show me the verse. Show me the verse that says this isn't cool.
They always find a way. Mm-hmm. There's no verses that say not to. Oh, no, there is that one. But even then, it's like, they don't directly say, like, hey, masturbating until you come is a sin. They're just like, any spilled seed is a sin in the eyes of God, or some weird shit. Like, they find ways. I think that's where the Catholic doctrine of, like, always, trying to procreate, like, I think that's where that came from, basically. Just, you always gotta be,
Every time you come, it has to be with the intention of creating a human being. Yeah.
Does the Catholic Church think that freezing sperm or, like, donating it is okay then?
I can't imagine.
No?
No, it's
the intention of procreation.
That's gotta be like a sham in the eyes of God.
Yeah, and also, like, it's with someone you're not married to, and
you can't scientifically do that sort of thing. That's against God's will.
Science is opposite God.
Yeah, if you want to donate sperm to a lesbian couple, you have to have sex with one of them. That's what Catholics would want.
Hey, man, don't we all?
All right, now we're doing it a little early, but let's jump into the other call so I can talk a little bit more about Elden Ring. Sorry, Andrew. So I have seen a lot of discourse about Elden Ring lately, and I think a lot of gamers, surprisingly, I know, lack reading comprehension, and I want to set the record straight. Like, to the point where it's almost a meme now. Some people have been pointing to, like, most Elden Ring players and saying, hey, would you guys rather do the main quest in the game, or would you rather try to get pussy from a woman who's evil? And first off, how dare you? That is my wife you are talking about in this game. And second off, she's not evil. Like, this character's whole deal is that you do her quest line and unlocks a possible ending where it's just kind of noping out of this situation. Like, hey, let's do 1,000 years of darkness and then start over with this reality, with this world. And I'm inclined to agree with her, because the further I get into this game, the more fucked up I realize all of this shit is. Like, the giant golden tree that everybody worships as a god, I'm pretty sure that's just an alien parasite that's fucking up a lot of shit. Yeah.
It's hard to argue with you there.
Yeah.
Mostly because I don't have any recourse to argue with you with.
It's fair. It's very fair. Also, I blame George R.R. Martin entirely for the names in this game being entirely too similar. To give you guys an example, this game's either God or Jesus stand-in is named Marika. The woman who is kind of guiding you through the early parts of the game is Melina. One of Marika's children, who is like a super boss in the game and maybe the hardest boss in any From Software game.
Defeat? Okay, I've seen those names.
Malina. Okay. So we have Marika, Melina, Malina, and that's not even getting into Milan, who is a turtle. I don't know how anyone is keeping any of these characters straight without having the wiki open constantly.
Sounds like you lack reading comprehension skills.
Yeah.
Like most gamers.
Yeah, it's hard, and it's not even. Maybe it makes more sense in Japanese, but
George
in
R.
English
Martin
these
did
are
not write this in Japanese.
Maybe the characters
and also maybe didn't write anything at all.
George R. R. Martin he touched base on this. You can feel the remnants of his writing echoing throughout the story.
Have you read any of his works? Have you read any of the Song of Ice and Fire books?
I read the first chapter of the first book for a class.
That's as far as you got.
Yeah.
That's not reading. You understand, right? Like you didn't actually partake in the work by reading 12 pages.
I think I wrote like a 500-word essay comparing the first chapter to Beowulf, or maybe The Hobbit. I don't know.
One of those.
I feel like there was a worksheet on that. Nah.
There you go.
But yeah, I'm enjoying Elden Ring. I finally have my intelligence high enough that I can shoot a laser beam, and that's neat.
That's important.
Yeah. It's great.
Gotta make sure your mind powers are good enough to shoot light.
Lucas is one of those Wojaks where his brain is so big that he's using it as a chair.
As a chair, yeah.
That's basically what one character, Selen, did in Elden Ring. Did not go well for her.
Selen, Elden Ring. How do you spell that?
Sellen.
Oh, that's not how I expected.
Yeah.
Why can't I find any pictures?
Yeah, so, also, I don't know how much I can get into this because of my work. Not a lot of documentation out there, wiki format or otherwise, about the lore of this game, which I'm set up enough now that is far more what I care about than, here's how you beat whatever boss. So, yeah. It's a little frustrating. I know the game is, barely a month old, if that, but come on, guys.
It's really only a month old.
I think it's sure has felt longer.
It's been out for a long time. Yeah.
I thought February 22nd.
February 25th, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just over a month.
When we gaze back upon the epochs of history, it will be divided pre-Elden Ring, post-Elden Ring.
It's going to outsell Breath of the Wild. Halfway there, living on a prayer.
I never said Breath of the Wild. I said Skyrim.
Oh, that's so much worse. Wait, did you really?
I think so.
Did I look up Breath of the Wild then?
Oh.
I thought that's what you had said.
Yeah.
Because you said it sold 12 million copies. Skyrim.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild sold 25 million.
Yeah, that's why I said halfway there, because Breath of the Wild sold... Oh, Skyrim's going to be so many more.
Skyrim
selling
sales
games of all time, because Skyrim has so many releases.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so in 2014, Skyrim had 20 million copies.
Yeah,
that was 8 years ago.
In 2016, Todd Howard said more than 30.
Okay,
and they've had at least one major re-release since then. Although I don't know if you count that, but
I don't personally, but I think numbers of people would in fact count that. So. Yeah.
Elden Ring will get a re-release.
Oh my god, absolutely. That's
on the PlayStation 6. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's how they're going to sell it. The release title for this remake of a FromSoft game. It's worked well for us before. Let's roll these dice again.
It's going to be a launch title.
Yep.
The PlayStation 6 sounds dumb. I don't know what it is about 6, but like
yeah, no.
2, 3, 4, and 5 all make sense. I feel like when you get on the back half of single digits is when it's like, what
are we doing here? No,
yeah, come up with a different thing.
Okay, so stupid. Xbox has tried and obviously failed to come up with new names.
PlayStation 6 is better than the Xbox Series
but what would
X,
be a good PlayStation 6 stand-in title be?
I don't, no idea, man. They've backed themselves into a corner. They're just going to keep counting. But
I mean, do they style it by Roman numerals? That way we can be like the PlayStation VI, the PlayStation Vi.
Everyone would still call it 6, though. Even if the Roman numerals get involved.
That's fair.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, look, I think they backed themselves into a corner by going this deep. It's like the iPhone. At a certain point, yeah, you're in it. You are now just going to keep counting forever. But... And then maybe you can
except for that one time where they did the iPhone X. There was no iPhone 9.
They skipped 9.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. There was that one time where they just stopped counting randomly and did a Roman numeral. And then they just went back to 11. Yeah. Now they're at 13, which is also a shitty number. iPhone 13. Like, ugh.
Ooh.
Once they get into the 20s, oh, God. Like... Honestly, it might be time to rebrand.
And they will. No, I mean, like, they won't rebrand. They will get into the 20s. That is going to happen. The world could be burning 23. Around it and underwater at the same time. And it'll be like, the iPhone 23 is coming out. Buy it, loser.
I keep remembering that Final Fantasy 16 is coming out this or next year. And that's too many installments to keep numbering them, right?
That's the thing, is that like they're doing Final Fantasy for the name recognition, but there's no real reason to stick with that naming convention. Because, I mean, I know the games are similar in gameplay and style, but they're not the same story. Anymore.
Now it's just like, hey, you recognize these iconic monsters and the spell Blizzaga? It's a Final Fantasy game. Fuck you.
Fuck you. That's what they say at the end of every E3.
Buy it. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Suck my dick, buy this game.
You know you're going to buy it, you little pay pig. Do it.
Yeah, we got fucking tonberries in here. We know you eat that slop up. And I do.
Murder for a I do, and I like it. It feels bad, but I like it.
No, oink, oink, oink. Let's go.
I am a pay pig. You will always get my money.
Yeah. Ryan, you pay pigging for anything or just checking stuff out in general?
Nah, I'm doing the opposite.
Yeah.
Me and Andrew are doing the heist replay glitch and making buku bucks, baby.
What are you spending this money on in GTA Online?
Yeah, we've been talking about it. We're kind of at a point where we have enough that it's now time to we can start buying some fun shit that we can dick around with, or going on other heists and doing the other
actually play the game
content. And then come back to the heist when we
need
run
a couple cool $1 million.
Yeah, when we're bankrupt. But I have $15 million, for example, and that's after buying a submarine, buying a helicopter for the submarine, buying missiles for the helicopter, an additional $7 million or so. So I made $22 million running this heist. And in reality, we looked up for $100 the Megalodon card, the biggest real life card you can buy in the game. That gives you $8 million of GTA currency. So I've made $22 million in the 2 weeks I've been doing it. And in the meantime, I'd have to spend 100 real life dollars to get that. Not 100, 270 real life dollars.
Yeah,
I guess
to get that. So
yeah, because maybe that's a part of why I'm having a harder time getting into GTA Online as what you guys are. Also Elden Ring, but I'm making money. I don't know what I'm going to spend it on, but I have the money. It's here.
You haven't gone into the store and seen the random crazy shit you can buy?
What?
You can buy the fucking flying DeLorean with missiles.
Yeah, you can buy the Back to the Future car with missiles. You can buy the Batmobile. You can buy a yacht. Don't buy a yacht. It's the worst waste of money in the game, but you can do it. Like, you can buy like a World War II bomber plane that then like your friends sit in the back as bomber pilots and you fly the plane.
And it also has a rocket booster on it, so it can take off immediately.
Yeah, takeoff assist. And you can buy the Harry Potter broomstick that everyone hates so much that I have, that is basically the god vehicle that you can just kill everyone with. You can buy like a fighter jet. You can buy a house in the hills, and then just live your life as a Hollywood millionaire and RP that.
Golf.
Yeah, you have a bunker, so you can buy like you don't have a facility. You can buy a facility, which then you can use to store all your doomsday weapons, including an orbital cannon, which just is a satellite missile that you basically just kill someone.
Oh, like from Akira. Okay.
It costs like $750K.
Wait, what?
You just to buy every time you shoot it, it costs $750K.
Oh my god.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, kill someone. Like you see where they are on the map, you click a button, and they are then erased from the map. They give you a kill switch. Bunch of random shit, man. It's really fun. You can go to the casino and fucking gamble. You can, I don't know, you gotta get online and check out the crazy shit you can buy. Buy a sports car, drive around like a sports car boy.
Or I can just, like, punch an NPC and take their sports car.
Yeah, the sports car's shitty, though.
Wow.
Don't you want to trick out your sports car and give it neon highlights and tune the engine, give it bulletproof tires?
I don't know. I'm not a big car guy.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Get some aircraft, baby.
No, that's fair.
You can get the flying motorcycle, which is just a motorcycle with wings. Like, you just has a rocket booster, and then you use the wings, and you can fly around, even though it's just got wheels, too. It's fucking great, man. If there's one thing that they're not short on, it's fucking content to spend that money on.
All right. Speaking of content, Andrew, what's going on in Horizon Zero Dawn? Horizon Forbidden West. Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
You know what you said, don't you belittle me.
Horizon 1 Dawn.
In Horizon Infinite Sunrise, I am currently trying to acquire a bunch of different AIs that will let me fix climate change.
That's all we've needed all along?
Well, okay, so little short mini 20-minute history lesson.
Oh boy.
Plot of the first game, which you should still play. Humanity ended, won't go into the details. But before it did, humanity made an AI that would control other different AIs that would like basically repopulate the earth and fix it so it was suitable for humans. And some shit happened that spoilers won't get into. And the main AI died. And so the other AI ran amok and caused shit to just get all wacky. And so in this game, you're trying to fix that original AI and bring the other AI like to heal. So I got one of them down. I think no, I've got two of them down. Three of them down. Two of them were just like part of the like story, like cutscenes and shit. And then it was like you got to go take care of the other four. So I got one of those down. In doing so, found one of the main tribes of this game is split into 3 clans that all like worship the U.S. military. But it's so funny because they're like, we respect they call it the 10, like the 10 are their gods, and the 10 is just like the 10th battalion of the United States military. But they all are just wearing like hella body paint and have like clothes with spikes sticking out of them. But they like salute each other and call each other soldier and shit. It's actually kind of funny.
Okay.
So I got one of the AI from them because they're like, hey, yeah, no, we know where that weird thing is that you're talking about. But before we'll let you get it, you have to do some stuff for us. So one of it was like, yeah, we're at war with like these rebels, and so we need all 3 of the clans of this tribe united to fight the rebels. And one of the clans who live up in the mountains in this big fortress are like, nah, we're going to sit this one out because we're totally fine up here. So like, go convince them to join us. And Aloy does that by destroying their fortress. Because they're like, as long as we're safe, we're not going to like get involved in the fight. So I blow up the walls. And they're not safe anymore, so they have to join the fight. I'm like, I don't know if I would have done that.
The fight against whom?
The rebels. They're a bunch of like...
So, okay, let me... when Aloy blows up their fortress, does this group know that she's allied with the group that they then join?
Yes.
Okay.
So...
that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That doesn't make a lot of sense that they'd be like, you just blew up our shit, guess we gotta fight with you now. Don't get me wrong, it'd be super fucked up if this game had you do a false flag operation as Aloy, but I don't think I understand the logic here.
So, I mean, the logic is kind of fucky, because it relies on a culture that doesn't actually exist and their rules and stuff. So... in the beginning of the game, you go to this embassy that's happening between the Tenakth, which is the tribe that I mentioned before with the 3 clans, and the Karja, who are people that you fought with, or fought alongside with in the first game. They're like a big group of people in the east, and the Tenakth are like a big group of people in the west. They had been at war for a long time. They established a peace. They were having this embassy, and the rebels who did not want peace, that wanted to go and kill the rest of the Karja, split off from the rest of the Tenakth, killed all of the generals of the Tenakth that were at this embassy. So then the chieftain's like, hey, I need to get more generals, and in order to do that, our culture relies on people entering this big challenge arena thing, and the winners that kill the most machines become generals, all that kind of shit.
I like it.
But we can't do this tradition without all 3 clans together, and one of the clans is saying they're going to sit it out because they don't want to fight, because they're waiting for us to get weaker so that when the war is done, they'll just be the last one standing. And then you go to talk to the head of that clan, who's a piece of shit, who's like, yeah, no, I want to be in charge. The rest of my people, they want to fight and join in this shit, but I'm not going to let them because we're safe here. So then I destroy the walls, and then the rest of the people are able to go and join the thing. So
no, it's totally cool that Aloy acting for another political power created a situation that would remove this community's leader, because that's what the people wanted.
The leader is still there. It's just then the leader has no choice but to say, okay, we'll join, because we're not safe just sitting here anymore. You destroyed our protection, and now we're vulnerable, so now we have to be involved. Yeah. No, it's pretty fucked.
Sovereign nation was Afghanistan. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Aloy's big thing in this game so far is that she does not give a shit about other people. That's a thing people keep saying. It's like, hey, Aloy, maybe you should care about people and your allies and maybe not be so callous. And she's like, no, I'm trying to save the world. I don't care about you. You do not matter to me. Yeah.
That doesn't sound like Aloy behavior. Are we sure that she hasn't been...
She's pushed to the brink.
Oh, okay.
She's got big shoes to fill. She's a clone of the most important woman in history. And that's weird. And maybe there's another clone.
Andrew, you got one fucking chance to bring me into this. Is there, hypothetically, let's call her a liquid Aloy, that is an evil, but maybe genetically better version of Aloy that you have to fight on top of a mech?
There are mechs, in a way. There is another Aloy, not liquid Aloy. Her name is Beta, because she's the second clone.
Doesn't sound like she's better.
She's
than
not.
Aloy,
She's not
yes.
better. I haven't seen her very much yet. But it is kind of a whole thing of she's a clone that belongs to a different group of people, and Aloy's super fucked up about it because she's a clone. How is she being subservient? And and like doing all this shit for other people. She should be like me. And then they're like, well, maybe like the circumstances of one's life actually matter, and it's not just what your genes are. And she's like, no, I am the clone of the most important woman in history. That's why I'm cool. So there is that. And also, yeah, there's big fucking robots.
So she's really just jealous that she's not the only clone.
Yeah, no, she's fucked up about it.
Yeah, she's just mad that she's not the only one.
She's like, Elizabeth Sobek, who's the person she's the clone of, she would never serve these other people. Why is she doing that? Like, well, that's not Elizabeth. Elizabeth died 1,000 years ago, and you're not her either. You are just also a person who is genetically identical. She's like, no.
Aloy, sometimes you just gotta make peace with being the superior clone. Like, that's fine. That's enough.
Yeah.
So, but Beta's not, like, a bad guy?
I mean, Beta has only been in, like, one scene and then talked about a couple of times since then. It seems like, yeah, Beta is just another genetically identical clone, but is used as more of, like, a tool than a human being, so... More of a key.
The implications of this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be fun if I found out I had a clone that was, like, just living an entirely different life than I would. Like, different circumstances, where would I be? Oh, I own my clone owns a mid-sized pottery shop in the rural Midwest. Good for them.
You getting into pottery, Lucas? It's like the second time you've brought this up in this podcast.
I don't know. I think it's because I'm, like, doing the Pop Boy Alexander quest line in Elden Ring, so it's, like, in my head.
All right.
If you found out that you were the clone, though, of, like, a particularly extraordinary person, wouldn't you be disappointed with yourself?
A little bit.
Like, we're all doing all right, but, like, if I found out that I was, like, genetically identical to someone who accomplished great
things... He's like, I don't have any excuses.
Yeah, what am I doing here? Like, apparently I got all the tools. Like, this is fucked.
I mean, like... Yeah, if I found out I was a reincarnation of the Dalai Lama, it'd be like, fuck, I probably...
No, it's not,
that's not what a clone is.
No,
Hold on, the Dalai Lamas, that's... Look, I want to be culturally sensitive, but that's all bullshit. Like, the reincarnation, that's not real. I'm talking, you were scientifically cloned from an actual, like, historically significant person.
Yeah.
You are identical to them genetically. Yeah, if we were then just ourselves, like... working at a TV network, working at a online, I don't know, what do you even call it?
Like a tech company.
An online, what are those called?
Wikis?
Yes, obviously, but
Startup?
like, no, it's what all the like shitty Instagram accounts call themselves.
Influencers?
Curator.
Curate. Oh, okay, yeah.
Online content curation company.
Yep.
And
Not inaccurate, yeah.
Yeah, medical sales. Like, we'd all be like, oh.
How come I'm not
shouldn't I be like
leading us into the next generation? Yeah.
Right. Shouldn't I be like in Congress or like, yeah, some genius inventor or something like this?
I mean,
yikes.
On the flip side, if it was like a person who is historically known for being awful, I'd feel pretty good about myself.
But that's all like circumstances. Like, if you were a clone of Adolf Hitler, raised in your circumstances, you would not be Adolf Hitler. Like, you realize that, right? Like, you would have basically none of the qualities of Adolf Hitler. Like, nature versus nurture, obviously you'd have some tendencies of his, but you would not want to massacre the entirety of the Jewish population. Like, you might be a bit of a dick, you know? Like,
how would you feel if you found out you were the clone of someone who was, like, mildly famous, but, like, not consequential in the grand scheme of things? Like, let's say...
Nothing would be different.
Yeah, you were a genetic clone of, like, William McKinley.
Then that's significant. Hold on. William McKinley has accomplished way more than we have at our age. Like...
that's what I said. Like, someone
like,
who was like not insignificant, but like not important on the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
William McKinley is definitely important in the grand scheme of things. If you can become president of a nation as large as the United States, you are 100% significant in the grand scheme of things. Is he significant in American history? Like, that can be up for debate, but like, at the very least, William McKinley is a remarkably accomplished human being. Like,
that's fair.
I thought you were going to say, like, what if you were the clone of Wilmer Valderrama? Like, you know, like
I guess
some B-list actor.
Yeah.
All right, I guess nothing would change. Like,
you're a clone of one of the lab techs who worked on the cloning technology.
Yeah, that would make sense.
They would definitely clone themselves first.
Right? You know?
Yeah.
If I were there, I would.
William McKinley was in 1861 when he was, God, how old? When was he fucking born? 1843. So when he was 18 years old, William McKinley enlisted in the newly formed Poland Guards to form the 23rd Ohio Infantry for the Civil War.
Look, plenty of idiots join the army. Like,
definitely did important shit. Wrote a series of letters to his hometown newspaper extolling the army and the Union cause. Became the mentee of Major Rutherford B. Hayes, of future United States president.
He was an industry baby.
Association and friendship. He was a private in the army that gained repute by being a writer and like putting the horrors of the war and also like the positives of the Union cause in like writing to the general public, and then eventually worked his way to becoming a trusted confidant of an important person. Industry baby. It's all about who you know. Oh damn, he's a bit of a smoke show here.
Ooh.
William McKinley, not a great looking dude, because I guess he was older, but I'm look, maybe he's just young, but he's got a bit of a vibe going on there.
Damn, shoutouts to William McKinley.
Yeah. 22 years old. Just fought in a war for 4 years.
Honestly,
just free slaves. Like
that cowlick.
I feel like that already is bigger than anything that we've all done.
That cowlick, it's that's a part of it. He's making it work. He's approachable in this picture.
That's clearly part of his look.
Yeah.
Like, he put effort into that.
Good for you, sir. You have my vote.
He was a Republican.
Well, but what did that mean back
then?
No,
it's not the same.
It was Republicans. No, it was the party that freed the slaves.
Yeah.
Like old Republicans, pre-World War II Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-Southern strategy Republicans.
Yeah. And they got married, which is, there you go, already beating us all there at 22.
Look, any idiot can get married.
Became a lawyer.
Oh.
When his army friend was nominated for governor, he made speeches on his behalf.
Oh.
When Rutherford B. Hayes was nominated for governor, he fucking spoke for him.
Throwing down.
Already there.
Yeah.
And that was 1867, so again, he's 24. He's already beating us there. He's a 24-year-old giving speeches for a gubernatorial candidate. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. Definitely repute. It's kicking our ass. But no, if we go minor enough, then there's no functional difference. But anyone who accomplished things, then you kind of have to look at yourself and be like, I had that potential. I just suck.
I don't know, man. Did William McKinley write a scathing article about propaganda in the anime industry? Didn't think so. Unless I'm about to eat crow, please don't have that other shoe drop.
When did William McKinley die, and when was anime invented?
Arguably World War II.
Ooh. Yeah, William McKinley got shot in 1901. So.
All right.
Yeah, I think he predated anime a little bit.
That's fair.
When was the first anime?
Manga is said to have been born in 1814.
Well,
manga's not anime.
No, but anime is moving. I think that's what it means, right?
Yes.
Yeah, moving.
Yeah.
Animation.
Yeah.
Manga is not anime.
Yeah, I mean, like, so yeah, we know that William McKinley died before, like, television was a thing.
Barely, right?
Yeah, TV was...
I thought it was like
weird.
late. I thought it was like early 1910s, right?
Hmm.
Television. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of weird steps forward. Definitely like the
1927.
20s. Yeah, definitely like the 20s for sure. But like in 1851, they created facsimile transmission systems to display images, like, you know. But yeah, probably not going to be able to. William McKinley would not know what television is. Now I just want to like talk to William McKinley.
Yeah.
Like, yo, dude, what's up, man? How you feel? How you
What's the
doing?
state of the world right now? How does it make you feel?
Yeah. I mean, you got shot.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't even serve a full term. You probably feel like you have a lot of unfinished business.
William McKinley, if you're listening to this, you're more than welcome to jump on the podcast.
I mean, sadly, William McKinley's greatest contribution to American politics was the fact that his vice president was Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
And he got shot. Like, Teddy Roosevelt was never supposed to be president. He was put in as vice president as a way to basically end his political career. And, yeah.
God, that is so alien to what U.S. politics is actually like now.
I mean, you have to be favored in the party, and he was seen as a fucking mad lad. Like, so, like, yeah, there were vice presidents in the past that went on to become president, but he was never going to, because the Republican establishment did not like him. He was a fucking loose cannon, as then seen with, like, the Mexican-American War and all sorts of other crazy shit that he ended up doing. Like,
Actually, where
love the guy, love him to death. Maybe my favorite president ever. Absolute fucking loose cannon. Like, I can understand why people representing the status quo would not want him in charge.
Actually, come to think of it, where was Teddy Roosevelt the night William McKinley was shot? Follow the money.
It's an LBJ JFK assassination conspiracy, but 60 years earlier when no one even
Where
cared.
do you think LBJ got the idea? I don't know.
LBJ! When did Teddy Roosevelt's son die? Was it World War II?
Oh.
Trying to remember. Yeah, one of Teddy Roosevelt's sons served in a war and got killed. Even though
It was
they
not World
never
War
should've.
II. That would have been too late.
Was it? He was his grandson or some bullshit.
No.
I don't know. But yeah, it was a secret passed down, and one of his not ancestors. What's the opposite of ancestor? One of his progeny.
Yes.
One of his progeny came forward to LBJ and said, "Hey, do you not like JFK?"
I've got a solution that no one in history has thought of before my grandfather.
Holy shit. Hold on. Just found another great picture of William McKinley. This dude's 15. What did they used to put in the water?
Oh. HGH, apparently.
That's an absolute man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
That's what
sorry.
happens when you drink milk.
He looks more like his presidential picture on his Wikipedia page in this photo of him being 15 than he does when he's 22.
Hey, I think the biggest question here should be, what the fuck did they put in the water that made him so ugly over the next, 40
wow.
years?
Wow.
Have you-
Andrew, we're out here sucking off William McKinley. Andrew's like, hold on, let's get back to, let's regress to the mean.
He got fat and old. I don't know what you mean. Like, he aged and gained weight. Yeah, that's what happened.
No.
What have you ever seen? If you want a good one, someone who didn't get fat, he did get old though. Have you guys ever seen young John C. Calhoun?
No.
Here, I'll link the pictures. The guy who ended up basically being the cause of Southern
Yeah, this
secession.
fucker.
Yeah, he looks fucked. He looks like a demon as an old man. And yeah, you see young John C. Calhoun, just like a strapping young lad, like someone you'd want to marry your antebellum daughter. Like,
I'm seeing paintings of him when he was younger.
Yeah, I don't think photography would have existed when he was born.
I know, but I mean, like, they could have. We don't know that that's what he actually looked like. They could have
zhuzhed it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. They could have made him look a little less like a monster.
Yeah, he literally looks like a fucking demon. I don't know if you guys have ever seen. It reminds me of Sumner Redstone.
I don't know that reference.
Looks just like a Bond villain, basically.
Ah, okay.
He's an American billionaire.
Oh yeah, this fucker. How many times am I going to say, "Oh yeah, this fucker" on this podcast?
Yeah, boy. Ugly old men. You love it. Don't you love to see it? What does he look young? Yeah, he's always kind of looked that way. He's dead now, so doesn't look that way anymore.
Now he's probably just bones.
By now?
Oh man, this guy didn't age well. It's just a pile of bones.
Alright, and with that, I think we're going to do one more clap sync for safety and then move into the wind down. Thank you all so much for listening to the 177th episode of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, which will almost certainly be titled Shout Out to William McKinley. If you like what you heard, like, comment, subscribe, etc. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok for highlight clips. ActBlue link is in the description. Support us either on the Anchor podcast platform or on Patreon, enjoying the likes of the terrific Tiffany Cole, Sucky Badger, and sensual Richard Nixon. Send us your questions and business opportunities, voluntaryviewing@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter for updates at V2_podcast. And follow me at Lucas DeRuyter on Twitter to keep up with all of my writing. Got a full week ahead of us, moving into April by the end of it. Spring has sprung. Good luck with all that. Good luck with your life. And goodbye.